Welcome to the surprise class on Friday. I'm Dr. Yuzalak from Green Pediatrics and Family Care, and today we are going to talk about the fever. I'm going to give you today 5 tips about a fever, what you can do at home to alleviate your child's symptoms. And then also at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you 2 bonus things to learn more about the fever. I hope you enjoy it. First and foremost, if you have a baby that is less than 2 months of age and he or she is running a fever above 100.4, so 100.4 or more, you need to forget about all the tips that I'm talking about today, and you need to take your child to emergency room. Because the little babies can have sepsis and meningitis, and it's very dangerous, so the further workup is warranted. So in this case, you need to take the baby to the emergency room. If your child is over 2 months of age, then I hope these tips are going to be useful to you. We naturally, as parents, get scared when we have a high number on the thermometer and we panic and we don't know what to do. And the first response is usually to lower the fever down because your child is burning up. We need to learn today that actually fever is a natural body response to fight the infection. So by artificially lowering this fever down, we are going to also prolong the duration of the illness for about at least 2 days. So before you reach for that Tylenol or Motrin, find these 5 tips I hope useful and try with those first. Tip number 1, do not panic. Remember, the higher the fever, the shorter duration of the illness. Tip number 2, look at your child, not at that thermometer, because it doesn't matter if it's 102, 103, or 104. If your child is still comfortable, then you do not need to reach for the fever reducer. If your child is in pain, obviously, then you can think about lowering the fever down. Tip number 3, hydration, hydration, and hydration again. While running a fever, our body loses lots of fluid, so we need to hydrate our child with either hydrating solution or coconut water or regular water or breast milk, which will also give an extra immunity boost if you are breastfeeding. Tip number 4, lukewarm water shower. Lukewarm water coming from the shower will give you a constant cooling effect, and it's going to cool the body the fastest. If you put your child in the bathtub, if your child is burning up, it's going to heat up that water, and then you're not going to have the same effect. Lastly, tip number 5. Try to use some natural medicine because they just might be enough. You might not even need to use at the end Tylenol or ibuprofen. A few homeopathic medicines you can have in your cabinet can be homeopathic dilution of belladonna, which can help to lower the fever down. Also oscillococcinum and cold calm, which can alleviate cold symptoms. You can try some essential oils, but you have to be cautious because they can also in the younger kids stop the breathing. You have to dilute the essential oils with the carrier oils, and the best way to use them is to put them on the kids' feet, and that will provide the cooling effect. Well, this gets us to the end. However, I did promise you 2 bonus tips, and so let's talk about those. The first one will be, I'm going to teach you today how you can figure out if your child's fever is still going to rise. If he or she has cold extremities and it's shivering, so it's really feeling chilled and it's really feeling cold, that means that the fever is still going to go up because the body is still trying to shake and make more energy to elevate the body temperature. If your child is already perspirating, so it's the sweating and it's feeling really hot, then usually the fever is not going to go much higher than what you have. The bonus tip number 2, febrile seizures. They're really scary, and I hope nobody gets to see their child have those. However, I wanted to tell you that they usually don't happen when the fever is already really high. They happen from the fast rise and fast fall of the fever, which means if your child is already having 104, 105 fever, most likely they're not going to happen. But if you reduce the fever at that point and it comes down really fast, it can cause the febrile seizure. Same thing is if your child is just having a little bit low-grade fever like 99, and then there's a fast rise up of the fever, goes really fast from 99 to like 101 or 105, then your child can have febrile seizures. This is scary because this actually means that you're not going to be able to predict if your child is going to get the febrile seizures or not. This concludes our fever talk for the day, and until our next Friday surprise class, bye-bye!